Hello everybody and welcome back to our channel, Rob and Lynn on tour and cooking with Lynn on a Sunday. And today I'm introducing you to the Hysapientia air fryer, but it's not just an air fryer. I've had this now, you've probably seen it on vlogs when we've been in here. I've probably had it for about 6 weeks now and I've been using it all the time. And it is amazing. It's an oven, a grill, an air fryer. It's big. It's got a rotisserie chicken part in it that you can use. And today I'm going to be cooking a cake to start with, and hopefully I'll have time to do something else. But yeah, absolutely amazing. I've just plugged it in. So you start it there, look. And then you use this dial here to negotiate which one you want. So that was bread, that's cakes, you've got fish, you've got chips. It's absolutely amazing. I am so impressed with this machine. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I'll get onto a cake and show you. I actually did, before I go into that, I actually put some eggs in there today and hard boiled them, put them in here, no water, 15 minutes, no mess, no saucepan, nothing. Absolutely perfect. So I did those Robert sandwiches this morning. I'm just blown away by it. So yeah, I'll get on to doing a cake. And this is a Madeira cake that I've always used for doing birthday cakes, celebration cakes, when I used to actually do it for a living. So yeah, we'll get onto that now. So for my cake recipe, I mean, you probably, ladies, you probably, and some men know how to do a Madeira cake. I'm just going to do the way I do it, the way I said, as I said before, I do it for all the birthday cakes, celebration cakes that I used to make. So I'm just using Tesco's baking spread, caster sugar, 4 eggs, vanilla essence, plain flour and self-raising flour, a 7" by 3" tin, which I'm going to line, and the band that I use, which it's been soaking in water, to wrap around the side of the cake tin, which will stop the cake from doming. So right, I'll measure all this lot out now. And I'll be back in a sec. So the first thing I've done is cracked 4 eggs into a jug. To that, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon, maybe a little bit more than that, of vanilla essence. The best quality vanilla essence that you can buy, but some of them are really, really expensive. So I'm just going to whisk together 4 eggs and put those to one side. Right, what I'm going to do now is line my tin, which is pretty straightforward. I will just explain in a second how I do it. Right, so what I'm doing, I've just put the bottom of the tin, draw around the circle. That hasn't marked out very well, has it? So I'm going to cut that out and then I'll do the strips. So there's the circle that will go in the bottom. To do the sides, what I do is mark it 3 inches. I'd probably do 2 strips, so 3 inches, 6 inches, go all the way across, then draw the lines, and so you've got two lots. So I'll do that now. You don't want to watch it because it's a bit boring. So there you go, 2 3-inch strips. So it's a lot easier than if you're trying to do it and get it straight all the way around. The easiest way to do it, the way I've always done it, is put them together and just cut them into pieces, maybe 3 pieces. So that's done. I always grease my tins with Trex. So I find that a lot better than any cooking butter or spread that you might use. So just generously, that's the word, line that. If I can find the paper circle that I've just cut out, there it is. hiding in there. My trusty KitchenAid. I absolutely love my KitchenAid. I've had this one probably about 12 years, maybe 15 years, and it's been absolutely amazing. So there you go. I've put the bottom in. Then all you've got to do then is put your pieces in like that. They'll stick really easily. Just keep going round like so. I mean, probably most of you probably have done this many times, and then you're going to end up probably with a piece like that. So all you need to do then is cut a piece, put a bit more on that because you're going to be putting it onto 2 dry areas, and then pop that. So there you go, 1 line tin. Right, so before I start making the cake, I'm going to preheat this. So I'll just hold that down and show you. Right, so that's off. So what I'm going to do now, turn it on, and I'm going to select that symbol there for cake, which is saying 140 for 40 minutes. So I've got to take everything out of here because it comes with an instruction manual, a recipe book. You've got those actually came from Aldi. You've got your chip tray, you've got your rotisserie bits, lots in there. So I'll take all that out, close that. So I'm going to preheat that for as long as it takes me now to cook the cake. So I'm going to start measuring out. Turn my scales on. Right, I'm going to start with measuring out 225 grams of caster sugar. That's 218, there you go, 225 grams of caster sugar. Put that in the bowl. Make sure that's on 0, and it is. Then 225 grams of the spread. I think I've said this before, but I always used to use flora, and then it went completely vegan, plant-based, and it was just wrong. It just made the cakes taste completely wrong. So what I was going to say is try and use your butter and your eggs at room temperature, because it does really make a difference. So what you want to do then is mix that up until it's all light and fluffy. Make sure the bowl's in. There we go. Right, I'll be back in a sec because this is rather noisy, as you'll hear now. I'll just put that on stop a second while I measure the flour out. So on the recipe that I always use, it says 225 of self-raising flour, and then it says 125 of plain flour. But what I've always done, just do that, is actually halve the amount of plain flour that I actually put in. So I've got my calculator on here. So 125 divided by 2 equals, 125 divided by 2 equals 62.5. So I've weighed the 225 of the self-raising flour plus 225 equals, so 287. I find it makes a lot nicer cake if you actually halve the amount that they say on the recipe. Well, the one I use anyway, that's slightly too much. There we go. So right, I'll carry on mixing that and add the flour and the eggs in a second. Every now and again, when you're mixing, because obviously it'll go to the sides, just scrape it all down. You cannot over mix the sugar and the butter, but I would be careful when you're adding your eggs and your flour, because at the moment you're beating lots and lots of air into it. So yeah, that's what you mix it as much as you can on this at this stage right now. Okay, so I've mixed all that, and you whisk it or beat it until it's light and fluffy. So now I'm going to add the eggs. Oh, before I do that, I've just seen it. One thing that Hysapientia have sent me is this amazing apron. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to put that on before I get splattered with cake mixture, because you know what I'm like. There we go. And if anybody orders one of these Hysapientias, then they will actually send you one of these through. And the quality is amazing. It's like a really thick canvas. Anyway, right, so that's all mixed in, as you can see, like so. So the next thing I'm going to do is add the eggs. So I add the eggs about in 3 lots. Now you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have to put the mixer on. So I would just put like 1 lot in, and you'll see what you think. It's starting to curdle. So all as you do to do that, because you don't want to be mixing this for very long, add a couple of dessert spoons of flour, and then let that mix in, so you can see all now that the egg and that has combined. So I'm going to add a bit more. Same process again, add some more flour, just stops it curdling. Let that mix through. And that's done, and add the remainder. Now I'm just going to stop it, and I'm going to tip the rest of the flour in. I always double sieve my flour, which I've done. So that's done, and now I'm going to mix it, not for very long, on the lowest setting you've got. Good job I put this on because the flour's going everywhere. So literally 20 seconds, and that'll do. So then what I'm going to do now is just fold in any remainder flour that hasn't gone in. Just scrape that off there. So you can see now there is like flour around the sides. So I'm just going to gently fold the rest of that in. Make sure it's all at the bottom, so it's all combined. There you go. And that is done. So before I put it in the pre-lined, pre-greased tin, I'm going to turn the tin over and try and do this so you can see it. Bear with me. There you go. I've had the band soaking in water for about an hour before I started. So this one is just a pull through one. You can get these on Amazon. I always use it on a cake. I did try the Hysapientia out last week making a cake, and I didn't bother with this because it was just for us. And all you do is wrap the wet band around it. Just dry my hands, pick the camera up a bit. There you go. So you just wrap that around. So now I'm going to put this in the tin. I mean, you lot probably make cakes differently. This is just the way I do it, and this is for a 7-inch Madeira, which is, like I say, I use always for my birthday cakes that I made. Get all that down. This spatula, or whatever it is I'm using, is actually out the box that I used one the other week when we were in the motorhome. They're made of silicone, and I bought them off Amazon, and again, the quality is absolutely brilliant. I don't think I've tied my apron up enough. I am going to buy another set because I've split the set between here and the motorhome. So I'm going to get another one. There you go. I don't think I can get much more of that. Good job there's no children about, as if they're even allowed to lick the bowl anymore. Scrape it all off. Smooth it round. There we go, job done, job's a good one. So I'm going to put this now on the baking sheet in the Hysapientia. Just wipe my hands. take you with me over to the cooker. Right, can you see it? Yeah, you can. Brilliant. Right, so I've preheated it. This is now, so I'm going to pop this in. It's on 140 degrees. So to change the time now, because I want it for, I'm going to put it on for 70 minutes. So change the time, you press time. I'm happy with the temperature. I'm going to go up to, oh, so it'll only let me go up to 60. Okay, that's fine. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cook it for 60 minutes. I can check it, and the brilliant thing with this as well, it's eye height. You're not bending down into an oven. You've got a light so you can see how it's cooking. Absolutely brilliant. It's, I mean, my oven is now a storage. I just keep dishes in there. I keep my foil and everything in there. I don't use it. So yeah, I'll come back in a bit, and I better do the washing up, I suppose, being as Robert isn't here. Not that he would anyway, eh? So I'll see you in a minute. So while that's cooking, I just thought I'd go over a few of the things they send with that. So you've got the rack. I can't wait to try it, the rotisserie chicken. So you've got your bar and the 2 forks that stick into the chicken. You've got that helps you get the all these out. I've used this for chips, absolutely perfect. Again, a Hysapientia cooking cookbook, which is some great recipes in there, and your manuals, and also these, and I don't know if you've seen these, you might have, because I've always got these 2 hanging on it. I actually bought these from Aldi. I think they were £4, and they are absolutely brilliant. Better than oven gloves, silicone, washable, lovely, and they actually send you one, a smaller one, but they send you one with that, plus this amazing apron. So yeah, I'll go and do some housework now while that's baking. Right, so it's been cooking for an hour. I'm just going to put the light on, and I think it looks cooked, but I've never cooked one for just an hour. So the way I check is by putting a cocktail stick all the way through, and there's nothing on it. I don't know. I think I'm going to put it on for 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to put it on for another 10 minutes. It looks cooked, and that's usually the test, but I'm not sure. So, so we do time. That's another good thing with this. I've never had a cooker with a timer on it. So if you forget about it, here you go, press play. So yeah, if you forget about it, it's going to turn itself off, which is really good for me. Yeah, I am going to give it one last 10 minutes just to make doubly sure that the bottom's cooked, but it seems it. So I'll get it out in 10 minutes and we'll have a look. So I've given it an extra 10 minutes, so I'm going to take that out now. It's just, I'm going to put you down there and get this out. There we go, on the cooling rack. So there we go. So the moment of truth now is to turn it out. I mean, normally I would leave it in the tin to cool, but I want to see. There we go. And the great thing with using the wet band, as you can see, it's flat. So when you take, because you always ice from the top, so when you take that off, you've got a perfectly flat top to work on. So I'll let that cool and I'll cut it in a minute and we can have a look what it's like inside. So while I'm waiting for the cake to cool, I just thought I'd show you this. So take the baking sheet out that I've used. I mean, it's so easy to clean. There's even a tray at the bottom that comes out, so you can take that out and give it a good scrub. So it's like I say, I am so impressed with it. It's lovely, it's neat, it's great on the worktop, or like I've done, put it on top of the oven because I'm not using the oven anymore, or the hob, because as you know I use my induction hob instead of the gas hob. But yeah, really impressed with it, and I think the cake's nearly cool, so I'm going to cut it, show you how I do it. Right, it's cooled, so I'm going to put it on here. we take the paper off. If you can hear any noise in the background in a minute, he's just coming from work and going in the shower. Right, so you can use a knife, which is what I always used to use. There's there to throw them away. Oh, last piece on there. That's it, all done. Right, so if you were doing it for a celebration cake, what you'd do is probably put it back in the tin or cut, you know, cut the top off so it's totally level. But I mean, it's not for this time, so all as I'm going to do is cut it in half. And like I said, I used to use a knife back in the day, but then I found that one of these, and this is absolutely amazing. So I only need the one, so I'll move that one out the way. So all as you do is, you can see that there, yeah, place it on the board. Because some of the cakes, if they're very deep, then I will do it in two. So I'll cut, so you'll have jam on the one and cream on the other. But being as it's just the one, you can alter the height. This one's a little bit more fiddly because there are two wires and one would have sufficed, but it's got to go up another one. So all you do is put the cake on the board, hold on to the cake and go through it like that. And you get an extremely even cut, whereas if you were doing it with a knife, you might, you know, go off at an angle somewhat. And there you have it, and it's cooked through absolutely perfectly. So all I'm going to do with this one, because it's just for us, is put some jam on it, dust it with a little bit of caster sugar, and it's all done. Happy with that? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I get the best jobs, I do, people.
You really do. You're only having a small piece because
I'm putting so much weight on.
It's nothing
Not that you can tell.
Nothing to do with that really, though, is it? You haven't eaten. I've got to cook him his tea yet.
Cake before tea.
I know.
Actually, and you've done all that in that machine?
Yeah. Hang on, swap places. You can only have a bite. You've got to have your meal yet.
Mm.
We did go off cake for a bit, didn't we? Because I used to make them all the time. And
yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Oh, so nice.
Okay.
And I can't believe you've done it in that.
Yeah, it's like I said, I did make one for us to go away last weekend, didn't I? Just a small one, just to test it out, see what it was like.
Yeah, she's been using that a lot, and the food is amazing.
I mean, I've done frozen stuff in it. I've done apple strudel. I do the chips. I do meat. And now a cake. It just doesn't get much better, does it?
Dreading the electric bill.
Yeah, but we're not using the gas at all, are we? No.
No, we're using electric.
Yeah.
It should be plugged into a power bank.
Yes, well, we'll go into that in a later date.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
Okay, you haven't got to eat it all. You can have some after your tea.
First class. You're a little angel, aren't you? Hey?
So yeah, I will leave all the links to the description below of the Hysapienta if you want to go ahead and get one. I absolutely can't recommend it enough. It's the best thing, best kitchen gadget I've got. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it looks well smart as well, to be honest.
It does. It's a good looking machine.
And it's Lynn's height as well, you know. Mind you, to be honest, the cooker is as well down there.
Yeah, I did say eye level. It's not quite eye level, but you haven't got to bend. You haven't got to, you know, if you're picking hot stuff out, it's there. It's at a good level to grab stuff out of it.
You finished?
Yeah, so thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it this week. I'll be back next Sunday on my own.
I'm loving these cooking vlogs. I am loving it.
Fingers crossed. So yeah. You had a good day at work?
No, don't talk about it.
It's been so good, so peaceful.
Unbelievable. Yeah, so thanks for watching, people. So stay safe for the caravan as motorhomes tend to drift from skies on you. So love you.
We do.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next one.
In a bit.